With EA Sports College Football having an official release date of July 19th, we're just over a month away from its release. And if you're anything like me, the first thing you're doing is building that college football dynasty. But I'm not taking the easy way out, picking teams like Ohio State, Texas, or Georgia. I'm looking for a challenge, a program that's been down and out as of late, or maybe hasn't even put themselves on the map. So these are the top 5 programs to rebuild in college football 25.
Play clock at 5. Scored 4 goals. 3. A 2 home run and 1.
The 5th spot belongs to the Oregon State Beavers. No program has dealt with more adversity in the last 12 months than the Beavs. In August of last year, nearly every single team in the Pac-12 left the conference for a new home, except for 2. Oregon State and Washington State. Despite the future being so uncertain, OSU put together a quality 8-5 season, finishing ranked as a top 20 program in the country. But that adversity hasn't stopped. This offseason, they lost their head coach Jonathan Smith to Michigan State in the Big Ten, a conference many of their former Pac-12 members moved to. With their head coach leaving, more than 15 of their players enter the transfer portal, including the cornerstones of their offense. Both quarterbacks, DJ Uiagalelei and Aiden Childs, their starting wide receiver, Silas Bolden, and 1,000-yard rusher, Damian Martinez. It almost feels like the college football world is trying to leave this program behind. But there's still plenty to love about this school in Corvallis. Their Civil War rivalry game against Oregon is one of the best matchups of the year. And without a true conference to play in, you'll be able to schedule some big-time opponents to get the Beavers in the college football playoff conversation. At number 4 is the Kent State Golden Flashes. Hailing from the Mid-American Conference and probably the worst program in college football right now. Finishing 1-11 last season with their only win coming against FCS Central Connecticut State. It doesn't get any easier this upcoming season with road games at Pitt, Tennessee, and Penn State. So why is this lowly program scheduling such difficult matchups? Well, in the MAC, which is a financially handicapped conference, these games are huge for their athletic budget. These are known as bye games, where the top programs will pay for a smaller school to play a game at their stadium. And these one-time fees are upwards of $1 million. There is no better feeling in college football than pulling off an upset in a bye game, and at Kent State, you'll get to do just that. The Golden Flashes have just one double-digit win season in their 60-plus year history. And with the 97th ranked recruiting class, you'll have your hands full with this program. My third favorite rebuild is the Nebraska Cornhuskers. A program rich with history, including 5 national championships, with their 3 most recent coming during a legendary run from 1994, 95, and 97. But since those mid-90s, things haven't been the same in Lincoln. Nebraska joined the Big Ten in 2011, and despite their national prowess, have yet to win a conference title. Big Red hasn't even been bowl eligible since 2016. And listen, when it comes to bringing a program back to glory, there is no fan base more deserving than Nebraska. They've sold out 396 consecutive home games at Memorial Stadium, dating all the way back to 1967. The Cornhuskers are currently coached by Matt Rhule, returning after a short stint in the NFL. His defense was fantastic in year 1, allowing just 18.3 points per game, 11th best in the nation. Now the offense is due for an upgrade this season, landing 5-star freshman Dylan Raiola, the number 2 QB in the 2024 class. With the Big Ten welcoming Washington, USC, UCLA, and Oregon this upcoming season, bringing Nebraska back to national prominence is a tough task. At 2, we have the Navy Midshipmen. There are just 3 service academy schools in the FBS: Navy, Army, and Air Force. Recruiting at a service academy might be the most difficult job in the entire sport, as players must serve 2 years in the military before turning pro if they do attend, making this a much less desirable destination for top-tier athletes. But that's not going to be a problem in the video game. You'll have no limits to your recruiting footprint, meaning you'll be able to recruit the best athletes to play in one of the most electrifying offenses that is nearly extinct: the triple option. And there's plenty more reason to love this Navy football program. Their uniforms are easily in the top 5 of the 134 schools in the country. And the beautiful Memorial Stadium brings plenty of history. Not to mention, every year you get to play for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, handed out to the winner of the annual series between the service academies. At Navy, you'll get to play in the AAC that just a few years ago sent Cincinnati to the college football playoff. And since the program's 11-2 finish in the 2019 season, they're yet to have a winning record, making this an ideal restoration project. But the #1 dynasty rebuild that you have to do when College Football 25 drops is at the University of Hawaii, who have dealt with a laundry list of turmoil over the last few years, but a program you can't tell the story of college football without. The Rainbow Warriors have the #2 and #12 ranked quarterback in the all-time career passing yards list. June Jones' run-and-shoot offense in the early 2000s led to Timmy Chang and Colt Brennan quarterbacking some of the highest-scoring offenses in college football. Their extremely pass-heavy attack paved the way for so many successful college football offenses we see today. It reached its peak in 2007 when Brennan led the team to a 12-1 record, finishing as high as 10th in the AP poll and playing in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia to close the season. The school got away from its roots in recent years. The hiring of Todd Graham in 2020 flipped things on its head. Graham's mistreatment of players resulted in a public hearing with the Hawaii State Senate, where former players spoke of the head coach's mental and verbal abuse. A defensive back said, "He's hands down the worst guy I've ever met in my life." Another claimed Graham called Hawaii a third world country because they didn't have Dr. Pepper in their vending machines. Amidst this leadership disaster, the team also lost its home football stadium. Aloha Stadium was condemned in 2020 due to structural issues. The biggest stadium in the state, which not only played host to the Rainbow Warriors, but also the Pro Bowl, is set to be demolished later this year. Now the football program is forced to play in one of the smallest stadiums in the entire FBS. Even with the program now employing their former star quarterback, Timmy Chang, as head coach, recruiting to the island is always an uphill battle. So I can't think of a more difficult challenge than bringing a national championship to Hawaii. Let me know what your top 5 list would look like or any teams I might be missing. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well so we know to keep getting you more college football content.